All right, everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. I already shot this video. I'm going to reshoot it because I feel like I didn't do the best job. So anyways, I'm going to try to make this shorter and sweeter. And I'm probably going to post the pictures. You probably already saw the pictures, but I was at my coworker's house and I was trying to fix the problem that he was having with his light switch and the light and his plug. So anyways, I'm going to explain this as best as I can, as quickly as I can, and hopefully you guys enjoy this, and if you do, let me know. I'll try to make some more in the future. So basically there was this light switch right here, and there was 3 wires coming in from the top and 2 coming in from the bottom. There was one of them was red and the other ones were pretty much white or dirty, or the other ones were black or dirty white that looked like black. So there was a switch in this box that I took out, but they were all connected. But originally, I believe the neutrals were tied together, and then this power, which I figured out later, but this was the power wire, the red wire, and then the switch leg and the other wire were pigtailed with a wire nut and then on the switch. So let me explain to you how I figured this stuff out, but this is the way that I found it right here. I'm going to draw the same scenario over here and explain to you what I did. And to make this easier, I'm going to use a green. I'm going to use a green to represent the neutral. But let me first explain to you how I got to this situation. So I knew there was a plug down here, and I knew there was a ceiling fan over here with the light on the same switch leg, and then out in the other room there was a porch light over here. So basically trying to make the porch light work and the plug work and the switch leg work all at the same time. So what I did was had him turn the power off, took apart the switch. So I just had these 3 wires and these 2 wires in the box, and they were all really short, so it made it more difficult. But first of all, I took the red wire and I touched it to a wire and it blew up in my face, so I figured out that that was the neutral. I probably should have realized that these wires were together and these wires were together, but I wasn't sure what the wiring setup was because there was no sheathing in the box, so I wasn't sure if there was individual wires ran, because it's a super old house, so it could have been at least 40 to 80 years old. This was like a type of Romex, but it was the cloth type, and they're all individual, not the sheathing wasn't in the box, so that's the sheathing. Anyways, so I took this apart, took everything apart like I like to do, and what I like to do is touch everything together to figure out what is what. So like I said, I touched these 2 wires together and it blew up, and then I touched the other wire, and that was the switch leg, so that turned on the light right there. So I identified the neutral and the switch leg, and that was, the red one was the hot, because I took my hot pen, and when he turned on the breaker, when I had him turn the breaker back on, I was had these wires separated, and then I figured out that the red wire was the hot wire from the panel. And then from there, I went ahead and touched this wire down here, and I figured out that that went down to the plug, because I did take the plug apart as well. So there was a line and a load on this plug. So I touched one of these wires together, and it lit up one side of the plug because I put my hot pen in the plug. So I put my hot pen in the plug. So here's my plug, and with the outlets, hot and neutral and hot. So I put the hot pen in this side, and then it lit up this wire over here. So I knew that that was the hot, and then I stuck it in the other side of the plug, and then it lit up this side. So I knew that these 2 wires went straight down to the plug. So I knew that this was a hot and this was a neutral, and then from there I basically just put it back together. So I knew, let me use my green here as a neutral as a reference here so we don't get our colors confused, but neutral is not usually green, but these wires are, like I said, all black and or dirty white, and then the red wire up here. So I knew that the red was my, I'll draw the switch again. And there was no ground on this switch right here. So I knew that this was my hot, and I know that the plug needed constant power, so I was gonna be wire nutting these two wires together to send power down to here, and then the neutral tied together, so that's sent down to there, and then my switch leg over here, which went to my light. So I knew that that went to my light, so I know that the switch leg needs to be by itself on the switch, and then I needed to pigtail the hots to send to the switch so that the switch leg can be turned on, and that's pretty much it. And then from there, I forgot to mention that this is a GFCI right here for some reason. And then the porch light over here in the living room was tied to that, and how I knew that was because it didn't turn on in the living room, which he said it was working in the morning. So I reset once you turn the power back on, you usually have to reset the little trip breaker or the GFCI test button. So you hit the reset button and then that turned it back on because there's a line and a load. So this was the line coming in with the power, and this is the load going out to the living room. So if this gets tripped, then the power in the living room doesn't work, or outside at the porch light. So once we reset that, it sent power down to the switch over here, and then everything started working again. So hopefully I explained that really quickly and efficiently. So like I said, just take everything apart, and I like to touch the wires together. That one blew up, that one turned the light on, and then these two just sent the power down to the plugs. And I just used the hot pen, like I said, to figure out these wires, and maybe that's not the most efficient or safest method. It might be better to take the plug out and just use a meter so you don't accidentally damage anything. Or no, I don't think it would really blow up a plug if you put 120 on a neutral, because it usually sends power back anyways. But anyways, let me know in the comments if I'm doing something really dumb. But anyways, got everything figured out and everything working again. So hopefully this helped you out a little bit and give you some information on how I troubleshooted this situation. If there's anything I did wrong or could have done better, let me know. But like I said, help my coworker out because he driving me to work and driving me to lunch, and I wanted to help him out. And usually troubleshooting is kind of fun for the most part if you're not doing it as a real job, but just helping someone out, it's kind of fun. So anyways, glad I got this figured out, and if he's watching this video, this might be awkward, but this is just an explanation video, and maybe it would help him out if he was watching this, and help some of you guys out to explain how I did this, how to troubleshoot a situation, real world situation. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I'd love to see you guys back in the next video. It would help out the channel, and I would appreciate it. As always, check the description for anything else, and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload or do live streams. Thanks guys so much. God bless. Have an awesome rest of your day. Peace out.